Hello everybody, whether you're here in the audience or tuning in from around the world, welcome to Youth Talk, Macao's next chapter. Today we're celebrating a truly special occasion, the 25th anniversary of Macao Special Administrative Region. I'm CGTN's He Young.
And I'm Steve Hatherley, and I thank you so much for joining us on this very special program today. And He Young, as we saw in the opening video, Macao's growth has been phenomenal. It really has, and the city has excelled in so many exciting ways.
You know, for anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to visit, Macao is such a cool place to go. They have world-class hotels, world-class food, and of course, world-class people. And since it came back to the motherland in 1999, it truly has flourished as a bridge between the East and West.
It really has. And today, all together, we're going to discover exactly what makes Macao tick. We're going to be discussing culture, education. We'll learn a little bit about the economy as well. But maybe most importantly, how the relationship between Macao and the mainland has shaped Macao into the wonderful place that it is today.
Absolutely. And today's event is made even more special by young people from across the mainland and Macao on site and online. We have bright minds from the University of Macao. There you go. And of course, Macao University of Science and Technology, Tsinghua University, Peking University, Communication University of China, Capital University of Economics, and there you go, and Business, and Beijing International Studies University.
Basically, all the universities are here today, I think.
I think we have the best bunch. And it's wonderful to see so many young and passionate individuals coming together to participate and contribute to this exciting discussion.
Absolutely. And, you know, we talked about what we're going to be discussing in terms of topics today. But let's not forget our audience. We're joined by a live audience here in the studio. Let's hear you, everybody.
Hello, guys. Woo!
Great to have you with us. Thanks for coming today. And we also have some members online. We can't hear you, but give me a crazy wave.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Whoa. We see lots of hands up in the air.
Well done. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us today. And if you're watching, we'd love for you to join the conversation as well. So if you're following online, share your thoughts with us at CGTN on all your social platforms, X, Facebook, Weibo, and more.
Yes, and that sounds fantastic. And you know what? Let's start with a question for our in-studio audience. Okay, I'd like you to join to shout out proud and loud. And here's the first question. When you think of Macao, what is the first word that comes to mind? Okay, I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but egg tarts for me for sure.
Oh, food.
What about you guys? Other people?
Any other answers?
Yeah, Macao. Oh, we've got a gentleman over there.
Portuguese.
Oh, Portuguese, yeah.
That's a little teaser. We're going to touch on that bit of culture a little later on in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about for our online audience?
Online audience, we need your help today, too. When you think of Macao's hidden gems, the places that people maybe don't know so much about, what comes to mind for you?
Yes, we have somebody who's already raised their hand online. Hello, hey, tell us your name and what university you go to.
I'm from Macao University of Science and Technology, and now I'm a year 4 student studying here. And I think the first words that comes to my mind about Macao may be the sports city.
Oh, wow. Okay, sports, definitely. That's looking into the future as well. Well, thank you so much for your answer. Yes. Thank you. We'll maybe come back to you. It's clear that Macao sparks something special in all of us. So now let's dive into the cultural resonance of this discussion. And we're so happy to bring up incredible guests. And I'm introducing Miss Tong Ho Lam. Welcome. And also Miss Liu Ruanan. Come on and join us up in the stage and
have a seat.
Have a seat.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure. And I'm very pleased to welcome our guests again, Miss Tong Ho Lam. a member of the Macao SAR Youth Affairs Committee and the Vice President of Youth Association of People.
Yes, and joining Ms. Tong is Ms. Liu Ronan from Macao SAR. She is a student majoring in English at Peking University. English was my major as well, so we can talk Shakespeare a little bit later, maybe after the show. Again, thank you so much for being with us today. Looking forward to our chat, so let's get into it.
Yes, let's do. And you've seen what our studio audience and also our online audience have to say about amazing places or things that they think of when we mention Macao. But what about for you guys? And let's start with Ms. Tong. You know, what's that special place that maybe outsiders don't know that much about, but you're like, it's treasured, and share with us today?
I think that's definitely a really good question because, I believe the everyday lives of Macao could be very interesting in the eyes of tourists. And especially what makes traveling actually interesting is being able to experience different lifestyles, cultures, exploring the unknown. And a sense of novelty can actually evoke the feeling of satisfaction. If I were to recommend lesser-known places or attractions in Macao right now, I would suggest places rich in local flavor. For example, the historic Senado Square and the new Central Hotel in Macao, which opened recently after renovation. So it has nearly a 100-year history since 1928, actually. So yeah, so like if we were to look at the design of it, the meticulous decor inside evokes a sentiment of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So it's like we're traveling back in time where the East meets the West. And actually, the hotel was listed as one of the Macao's heritage sites in 1992. And the surrounding area also features streets, ancient streets, and traditional shops, which are all really interesting places to go to.
So you'll have a full schedule if you visit Macao, is what you're saying.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's talk food for a second, if we could. Egg tarts, Young mentioned the egg tarts already. Internationally, I think the egg tarts are well known. What other dishes do we need to try if we go to Macao?
I think Portuguese chicken, maybe you won't want to visit, because it's basically tender chicken that is cooked with various ingredients, and I think the ingredients and the sauce are very important to know because it's like a combination of the Chinese and also Western sauces and ingredients, such as we know there are coconut powder, curry powder, onions, and sometimes it would have white wine, and also it has beer from Portuguese.
Oh,
so I think it's a combination of different ingredients.
Thank you, chef. Do you have the recipe? You can share that a little bit later.
Absolutely. And when we talk about, let's say, film, music, and these other forms of entertainment, how do you see Mainland, the influence, and also, with original Macao? And it must be an interesting fusion as such. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about arts and entertainment, and how do you feel about it?
In terms of arts and entertainment, Macao hosts various performance. So back in 2023, there are more than 2,000 large-scale performances and over 10,000 artistic and culturistic performances were organized by the local government and private enterprises as well. So it attracted nearly 20, generating approximately 1.1 billion box office revenue. So that's around 140 million US dollar. And there are many different festivals as well, including the Arts Festival, the Macao International Music Festival, Meeting in Macao, China and Portugal Cultural and Art Festival, as well as the Macao Movie Festival. So these are all really interesting. And also recently, Zhang Yimou, a renowned director of our country, directed a stage play titled Macao 2049. So these are all really interesting choices for leisure and entertainment.
Again, we're going to have a full schedule if we visit Macao. When we think about the region and we think about things like fashion trends or social media trends, things like that, what do you think are the differences or perhaps the similarities there?
Well, I think there are no such significant differences between us, between the youth from Macao and the youth from the Chinese mainland. But I do feel like all of us are highly influenced by WeChat or Little Red Book, I would say. I always look up practical advice from the Little Red Book. So I think like there is not much kind of differences between us. And in terms of fashion and culture, I do see like we share a lot of similarities as well. For example, me and my roommates all share the same taste in music, as well as in such as like films and so on. I would say, yeah, when I first came here as a freshman, I feel like we are coming from a big family. It's like we don't have any significance or geographical boundaries between us.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about WeChat. Even as an expat, I learned very quickly in China, WeChat is life. If you don't have it, you can't do anything here, right? Very good. A question, if you don't mind, about, we were chatting before the show with the audience about Portuguese culture and the influence there. There's a remarkable blend, I think, that's happening in Macau. So what do you think that fusion of culture, how is that fusion of culture represented?
Well, if we were to talk about Macanese, so basically Macau-born Portuguese descendants, in my perspective, I think they have actually fully integrated into the Macau society. Driven by great love, the Chinese and Portuguese descendants, they have broken down their ethnic barriers, came together, and gave birth to many children with mixed heritage. So over generations, there are many children with different percentage of genes. And even if we're talking about Portuguese descendant families, they retain a lot of their Portuguese cultural traditions and how people love coming together, and they would form cohesive groups and circles, and they would have lots of different Portuguese cultural traditional style social gatherings. And so yeah, everything's just coming together. And even we also celebrate different festivals, there's this Lusofonia festival where we celebrate Macau as a bridging role for different groups of it's just a really wide range of diversity, people with different backgrounds coming together. And then we also celebrate Christmas and Easter, so other than enjoying Christmas music, people would also play mahjong during Christmas holidays. And yeah, in Chinese New Year, even we see Macanese people celebrating with the local Chinese, we would give red pockets, enjoy lion dances, moon gazing. Yeah, it's just
so you have the best of both worlds, and with Christmas coming up, and also the Spring Festival or the Chinese New Year coming up, and it's a very festive season for especially you guys, since you enjoy both or whatnot. Yes, and talking about cultural integration, and then it happens in so many shapes and forms. In the last 25 years, we've seen that in terms of culture and arts and so many aspects. You mentioned that there are some wonderful performances that could originally be of mainland production, but it enjoys Macau twist. And also, Ronan, right before we started the show, we had this mega discussion about you having this experience of playing in an orchestra, and you got quite the sort of encounter with some top musicians of your peers coming from the mainland too.
Yeah, I was in my middle school. I've been a member of the orchestra of the School of Music of Macau's Conservatory, and I performed orchestra with the top and talented musicians from the middle school of Central Conservatory of Music in the Chinese mainland. And at that time, I feel like it was an amazing experience for me, because for the one thing, I can learn practical musical skills from them, and also the whole process of practice was very smooth, and the whole show was a success. And it was I feel like we were coming from a big family, and in terms of music preferences or our favorite composers or the least favorite composers, we share a lot of similarities.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when we think of musicians, especially when you're practicing an instrument, at least from a little kid's experience growing up in the mainland, I'm thinking about hours and hours of practice, and to get into a top music school, yeah, you got to be the best of the best. What is learning a musical instrument like for you guys? I mean, is it a similar kind of experience? And was it wow, you guys are kind of amazing when you see those guys, you know, who are kind of, you know, past the selection to be there in this sort of exchange program?
I would say a lot of Macau youth, they all harness a skill in musical instruments.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That is the total opposite of Canadian children. Not musically inclined at all. It's the hours and hours and hours of practice we have to do.
Yeah, I believe. And also, I think Macau government always embrace different forms of arts to be taught with the children and especially youth in Macau. And so there are many opportunities for us to join, for example, like what Kalan was saying, it's like the art festivals and international music festivals. It not only welcomes the international or national artists, but also youth from Macau. So we can all gather in together and perform together in that event.
Yeah, I would also like to jump in a bit about here, you know, how Macau is trying to develop into a rural Asia city. So other than musical instruments, filmmaking is also something that the Macau government has been trying to push. So, you know, how Macau has been it's a relatively small market compared to other, you know, big cities like, well, although it has a relatively small market with fewer resources, the government has put it in policy to support films so that they would support feature-length films, short films, and so that local enthusiasts would have the opportunities to ignite their creative passion. So I too have participated in one of these programs, and so in which I directed a short film titled The Granny, and it was screened in theaters in Macau, and it was also screened recently again earlier this month. And also there are also local television series. I think it's called the Gusto de Amor. It was produced by a local production team, and it was also aired on the Macau television channel. So we see that the government is doing things and are putting policies in place so that our culture can be further developed and thrived.
Yeah, and Ronan, you are studying in the mainland right now. So in what ways have you maybe participated or seen your peers participate in these active cultural incorporation programs here in the mainland maybe?
Yeah, I think students and my peers they are trying their best to participate in the cultural exchange programs and so on. In my school, set me as an example, I've joined an association in Macau. It's like a Macau association, and we would host Cantonese program and Cantonese language learning program every year. And then there are many students from Chinese mainland. They would come here to have a try and try to learn how Cantonese pronounced. And I think like they are really curious about how like Macau people or Macanese culture looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, I learned something as we were preparing for this program, because I didn't know, for some reason, I'm a little embarrassed to admit to this, that actually in Macau, lots of folks use Cantonese. So I kind of just assumed it was something else. But, you know, the Chinese language has many variations, and the Cantonese dialect is what you guys all can speak so fluently, right? Yeah. So a huge thank you to our lovely guest, Ms. Tong Ho Lam, a member of the Macau SAR Youth Affairs Committee, and Ms. Liu Ruonan, student at Peking University, for sharing your invaluable perspective. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a bit.
Well, that's why we're here today, for learning experiences, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lots to be learned today. That was a really wonderful conversation. And what I took away from that was that there's a real friendliness and a real, not just exchange, but a want and a seeking of exchange culturally speaking as well. That was really good.
Absolutely, and given the last 25 years, we've seen that, you know, our exchange has sort of evolved from the initial gentle encounter to now there's full, deeper integration, and we know each other so much better, and we're intertwined into our lives and the economy and in so many aspects that we will get into on today's show. Okay, it's time to go back to school.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into our chat about educational exchange and cooperation, let's provide a little education for our audiences.
Yeah. School time. You thought you were on break from school today?
But actually,
but it's not the
quiz
Gao
time.
It's not the Gao, so you can relax about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a few questions for you. Raise your hand or shout out the answer. Both are okay. Here we go. Question number 1. What are the official languages of Macau?
Okay. Oh, that hand went up first. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So I think the first official language should be the Portuguese. Then the second should be the Cantonese before the Chinese Mandarin.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Do we take that as an answer?
Well, it is the official answer is Chinese and Portuguese. Yeah.
So yes. Well done there.
Well done. And here's the second question. Could you please name 3 universities in Macau? So 3 universities.
Can you name 3 universities in Macau?
Yeah, this is a tough one, isn't it?
I wouldn't know the answer, to be fair.
Well, there are at least 10 universities in Macau, and Macau is a place rich with educational resources. And we have someone online who's ready to share her or his answer.
Online audience, hello there.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Tom. Hello. I'm
Hi.
currently at the Macau University of Science and Technology doing medicine. So the first university is the University of Macau, Macau University of Science and Technology, and the Polytechnic University of Macau.
Great.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
You're studying to be a doctor. What kind of doctor are you going to be?
Yes. I'm hoping to go into oncology currently, but I'm still in year 2, so I've got a long road ahead of me.
Yeah.
Well
Great.
done.
Thanks
for being a part of our show today.
Yeah, thank you. And isn't it great to be young when your life is still waiting to unfold in front of your very eyes, and he's still deciding which kind of doctor he wants to be. Yes, and we have one more quiz, don't we?
We do. All right, so here it is. How many years, this is maybe a tough one, I'm not sure, we'll check. How many years of free education are offered in Macau? I'll give you 3 possible answers. Is it A, 9 years, B, 12 years, or C, 15 years?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
How many years of free education are offered in Macau?
Yeah. So we've got the years, the number of years on the screen. So
This is multiple choice, so let's just pick out somebody and see if we can get an
Oh.
answer. Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
So what's your answer?
My answer is B, 12 years.
12 years?
12 years,
12 years is many years, but
but it's not correct.
we have a lady in the second row. Hi.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's the gentleman in white.
Hi there, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Adams,
Yes.
Adams.
from Capital University of Economics and Business.
Welcome.
I'll
What's
go
your
by
answer?
I'll go by A, 9 years.
A, 9 years?
Yeah.
Well,
Incorrect.
Oh.
I'm sorry, incorrect.
The
So-
whole audience's
audience-
hands should be going up right now.
So, what is the answer?
The answer is
C.
15 years of free education are offered in Macau. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Now we all know.
All right, well, this is an opportunity for us to get to know our audience a little bit better now, isn't it?
And let's find out a little bit more about your school days. So we have some questions for you.
Yeah, so this isn't a quiz question as much as it is a question about you. So when you think back to your school days, either now or in your younger years, I wonder, what was your happiest grade in school? You know, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was your happiest grade? And what was your favorite subject when you were studying in school?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
So in my country, we don't say like grade 1 or grade 2. We have primary 1, primary 2.
Okay.
So I think primary school for me, because then my mom had to do everything. I just have to go to school, eat lunch, and come back. I barely even understood what they said in class. And English, of course, was my favorite language, my favorite subject, because it was easy to understand, and I speak English already, and no mathematics there.
Was that a humble brag, everybody? English easy?
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. And by the way, could you please tell us your name and where you're from?
Oh, my name is Karima. I'm from Cameroon.
Oh,
From Cameroon.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, Karima.
Thank you.
Nice
No
to meet
math
you.
questions for Karima today. Understood.
Yeah. So.
Let's check our online audience.
Oh,
actually.
why not? Let's do that.
Yeah, online member who wants to share their thoughts on this question. Let's say hello once again.
Hello everyone, my name is Chen Huilai. I'm now studying in Macao University of Science and Technology. I'm now having my medical education to become a doctor. I'm now in year 3. I think my most my favorite grade is the ongoing year right now, because we are going to have the clinical clerkship in Macao Hospital, and we are going to have our next semester in Mainland Hospital to excel at our clinical skills. I think the most interesting thing is that we gain clinical skills lessons in Macao here from different kinds of doctors from different parts of the world. They will have different kind of perspective to assess for the patient and the disease. And when I think we have this combination to have this practice in Macao and also in Chinese mainland will help our education a lot more. I think it's really interesting. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank
We
you
have
so much.
a very smart audience today.
Yes,
We have doctors
for sure.
online with us this afternoon. Thanks for your answer, and it was great to chat with you.
Yes, absolutely. And isn't it great that, when training a doctor, you're already seeing that there's the mainland input and also the Macao experience together, and that's just fantastic. And we have one last question, so everybody listen up, all right? We want to know better about your school years. I want to know about your accomplishments. What is the proudest achievement, biggest moment in your school years? And you can go back to kindergarten or university or whatnot. So
This is your chance to brag about yourself. You want to answer? Okay. We'll get you the microphone there. Hello there. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Hugo, and I'm a year 2 student from Capital University of Economics and Business, and I'm a high school Macau student. I'm really from Macau, and the most proud things, I think I am the school union, the president of school union.
Wow.
And
well
I
done.
think I held many activities like the singing contest and the musical competition and the basketball competition, etc. Many events. I think it's really proud to for contributing to our school and to make many like like our events in the school union. I think is the most proud things in my school.
Wow.
yay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So not only do you study, you're super involved in extracurricular stuff, and that is fantastic.
Very, very much so, yeah.
We have another online response here. Let's see who's ready to share about your proudest moment in school years. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello, my name
Hi.
is Yanni, and I'm from the University of Macau, and I'm a year 1 student.
And what is your proudest achievement from your school days?
So in my senior secondary years, I've actively participated in various competitions held by different organizations in Macau, and one of my most memorable competition experience is known as the Clean Energy Challenge hosted by CEM, which is the electric utility company in Macau. And I joined this competition with 3 of my other friends in my secondary school. And so basically, we proposed an environmental friendly building and created a model of approximately 2 meters high made of recyclable materials. And we also included solar panels as well as water tubes to visualize our design. And eventually, we won the competition, placing as the second runner-up and also received the award of the favorite eco-friendly project. So this experience holds a really special place in my heart, and not only because it creates precious memories with my friends, but I believe it is also a very meaningful event, and I really appreciate that different companies in Macau are really trying to focus on sustainability and aims for a greener and more environmentally friendly place in Macau.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you. That's encouraging, isn't it? You know, we hear it all the time in the news how important sustainability and the environment is, and to know that the young people of Macau are involved in projects like that kind of makes you feel comfortable.
Yes, and this is definitely eyeing into the future, but such an important issue that we're all dealing with right now. And you know what? We have another online response. So it's your time to shine, our mysterious online participant from Macau joining us live. Hi. Oh, hello. You're on the screen. Yeah.
Were you trying to call your mom?
Sorry. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fu Ge Ke, and I am a minority. I'm from Xinjiang, and I'm currently studying at bilingual broadcasting and anchoring in English at Communication University of China.
Very cool. And a second broadcasting student here. So tell us, what's one of your proud memories or proud achievements from your school days?
First thing is that obviously it is after at the end of the 2022, after I decided to sign up for the test of the Communication University of China. I was like a midway art student. I just started I didn't study art at a very young age. I started it at a senior high school age, and at 2022, just 6 months before the Gaokao exam, I decided to take part in this test just to try out that if I could make this way out, because when I was very young, I once dreamed of being a host in the future. And then after I tried, I got I prepared it for 4 months. I practiced my Mandarin, I practiced my English, my oral language skills, and I took part in many tests. And then finally, I came into this school, the best art school, the best communication and broadcasting school in China. So I think that this is one of the very proud thing in my school days.
Wow, that's amazing. One quick question for you. What kind of show would you like to host in your broadcasting future?
Well, for me, I would like to host a Le Mans race, Le Mans 24-hour, the car racing. I want to host a Le Mans 24-hour because I was interested in sports broadcasting, like sports hosting. I would like to try that, and I was gathering informations and data about it, and I hope in the future I could get into the CCTV and try to host it in China.
Well, good luck with that, and thanks very much for being a part of our show today.
Thank you. And education plays such a vital role in personal growth as well as the growth of Macau. And to discuss this cultural, or more like educational exchange and cooperation segment, we have two wonderful guests ready to join us on stage, Professor Zhou Mingming and Oh Jiajun. Welcome. Please take a seat.
Very nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
And please allow me to introduce, we're really lucky to have a true expert in this field with us, Professor Zhou Mingming, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Macau.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure.
And also we have Okao Chun. He goes by Justin as well. Shall we call you Justin today?
Yeah.
Okay,
no problem.
that's great. He is a student of Schwarzman College at Tsinghua University here in Beijing. Again, welcome, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's start with a question for you, Jiajun. So you've studied in Macau and California as well as Beijing, and in fact you're studying in one of the most prestigious universities here in China. So tell us, what is that difference in experience being in all these different educational institutions?
Well, first of all, I have a keyword for the experience studying in Beijing, or like the study culture. Is hardworking, basically.
Hardworking?
Hardworking. It's more, there's more exam-based assessment. And students love studying at library and drilling ideas and being innovative at the same time. We love to share ideas. And what I feel really interesting is the community is really supportive. As an example, I want to reach out to some unfamiliar industry or some new area. I talk to professors. They are, like, most of them are just happy, willing to share their contacts or even arrange meetings. For California, the study culture is more like how engaging, I would say, engaging. Students over there will be more active in class, in participation in discussion, and they are encouraged to take their ownership of learning.
That's a great mix, though, for you, I guess, right? Because you had a different experience in one country than you had in a different country, so you can take the best of both of those experiences and form what works best for you.
Right, exactly. So this is like Macau, exactly. Like it's a hybrid form of both of those places.
Professor Zhou, could you give us perhaps an overview of Macau's education system, and maybe a little bit about what it's like to study there, the experience there?
The education in Macau actually displays specific features of its own. And because we have never put into place any centralized system, so in Macau, the first thing that comes to people's mind is the diversity, or I would say a highly decentralized system. So by this I mean, in Macau there are 76 schools across Macau, across the island, and it's predominated by private schools. Over 90% are private schools. Only very few are public schools. And depending on who runs the school, the principal or the board of school have all the decision making in terms of the school curriculum, textbooks, or even the medium instruction of language. So you will see some schools, they would teach kids in Mandarin, and some in Cantonese, and some in English, and some in Portuguese. And now there's a trend in Macau that schools are pushing towards the trend of holding bilingual education. And in the Chinese mainland, we think of bilingual, that means Chinese and English. But in Macau, it could mean Chinese and Portuguese, or English and Portuguese. So different schools have different thoughts and philosophies, and this diversity actually meets different needs of the parents and students.
So for the parents then, I guess they make a decision when their children are very young, which there's a buffet of languages to choose from. Which direction they want their kids to go. That decision's made at an early age.
Yes, it has to be, but that also presents challenges for some parents because the kids are too young to talk to, so they have no idea about their future. So it's all the parents. But then the parents have to think more about what they expect their kids to become in 10 or 20 years, and what will be the whole situation in Macau in 10 or 20 years. So a lot of things to think about.
So would that be one of the drawbacks, perhaps? I mean, it sounds like it's a major advantage, but perhaps maybe a bit of a
Well,
disadvantage.
it is a difficult thing for some parents, I would have to admit. Yeah.
And also, when here's something I learned that's super interesting about education in Macau. I'll ask another parent-related question. When you speak of the majority of schools in Macau being private, what about the tuition fees? When you speak private, does that mean I'm paying out of my own pocket?
Well, in other places of the world, yes, that's true. But in Macau, over 90% of the private schools are funded by the government.
By the government?
That means the parents do not have to pay the tuition fee, even though they want to enroll their students to those private schools. So they have this 15-year free education system that a lot of schools would join. So there are a few, less than 10 schools in Macau, that they charge for tuition fee, especially if they're running an international program. Yeah.
And one more question, just to follow up to that. Apparently, Macau enjoys this exceptionally high 90-something% of students can go enjoy higher education. And that's high for any place around the world. So could you sort of, help us peek behind the curtains a little bit about how that's come to be?
Actually, the percentage over 95%.
Yeah, 95%.
That means, well, maybe Justin knows about this as well. Yeah, while you're doing the non-tertiary education, from primary and secondary school education, there is no national or so-called examination for entering university. So the kids just apply, or we have this great benefit from the central government, from the Chinese mainland. We have this school recommendation scheme. So every school can recommend top students to the top universities in the mainland. So over 1,000 kids would choose that way. Yeah.
See, as a student, then that sounds fantastic. It sounds like, it's not as a grueling experience for some of us, but could that also come with certain drawbacks?
Nope.
Okay, now I'm talking about the education
Sorry, that
system.
was just my personal opinion.
Yeah, for the kids and parents, they're happy. Yeah, especially Justin was talking about how the mainland students are hardworking. I mean, sort of like they have to. The competition is quite fierce in the Chinese mainland. Well, we do have competition back in Macau, but it's nothing comparable for the one you have here. Yeah, but from the perspective of the whole system, yes, we have taken this on both sides. On the other side, I mean, if you think about the management level of the higher education, then we are facing with a shortage of top students because they are all going out. They go to the mainland, or like Justin, they even go overseas. Yeah, we want to keep them because we have 10 universities here. We offer international programs, but it's a competition. It's competition. We want to win the top students, but then the total number is quite limited, I have to say. Yeah.
Justin, what do you think when we talk about perhaps the challenges in educational cooperation between the mainland and Macau? There's differences in language there. We've learned that. There's culture differences, perhaps, other aspects. How do you think some of those challenges can be addressed?
Okay, so for language, most of the time we have English, Chinese, and Portuguese. For example, in Macau, when we write papers or thesis, it has to be in English. But in mainland China, it's Chinese-oriented. So I'm not too worried about language barrier because currently we have AI. We can apply instant translation too, and also for education institution we can apply some language programs. So for culture, it takes time. It's going to take time because there will be difference in curriculum, in assessment, or even resource access. For university, they can build some blend-in program or even exchange programs for both Macau students or mainland Chinese students to go between cities to understand more about the two different cultures, places. And I think the most challenging problem is the compatibility between the policy in Macau and in the mainland China.
But all challenges can be overcome, and by the sounds of things, the students have the desire to learn and to want to know about the other systems and the other cultures that's happening. Right. So in that case, it makes the problem smaller, I guess.
Right. It takes time. It's going to be like phases.
And what are some of the successful examples or cases of the educational cooperation between Macau SAR and the mainland?
Well, actually, since the return of Macau to the motherland, there are a lot of opportunities for educational cooperation and exchange. And I want to share a few examples. One is from higher education. And the central government has set up these national key laboratories in the universities of Macau. For example, there are 3 in University of Macau. One is in the Internet of Things for smart city, so with a focus on urban big data, smart energy, or intelligent transportation. Another one is on Chinese medicine. They are looking at cancer or autoimmune disease. And the third one is on microelectronics. It's all about nano science projects. Yeah, very exciting. And we have a lot of opportunities to work with those scholars and experts from the mainland. So that has been quite successful. And in terms of the non-tertiary education, both in the Chinese mainland and Macau send school teachers over to visit every year. So we send our elite teachers to Macau, to the Chinese mainland. So they receive training from East China Normal University in Shanghai. And then we're also hosting Macau, Chinese mainland top teachers to visit us. So this communication and exchange, because it happens on an annual basis, so we have continuous collaboration and conversation between the both sides. So a lot of ideas are discussed, and I have seen the teachers got excited if they hear about from their peers about this cutting-edge teaching pedagogy philosophy, and especially nowadays about the technology integration. So many, many exciting moments. Yeah.
Yes.
So an opportunity for the teachers to exchange and learn and share ideas. Opportunities for the students as well?
Oh yeah, we keep hosting visitors from the mainland so they can come to the universities in Macau as exchange students. And just now back to the question, if they have experienced any cultural shocks, maybe at a certain level, I would say a little bit. For example, in the University of Macau, we have this British style of residential college. So we intentionally assign students from different backgrounds and academic discipline to live together in this whole community thing. So we are breaking the wall of majors, programs, and departments.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so they have to learn to socialize with people from everywhere. So I think for some mainland exchange students, they were like, hey, where are my classmates? We're not looking for classmates. We're looking for people you can interact and learn and coexist. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a challenge, I can tell, especially if you're from the mainland, because you're kind of expecting your classmates to be your people, but now you actually need to go expand your social network, building your social network, even from, you know, your mates staying in the same dorm, that kind of thing.
But I'm seeing actually there's a trend, like Macau student or mainland student, they're actually blending in because of the social media. We have Literate Book, we have TikTok. I'm seeing increasing trend that Macau young students are has been using more Red or TikTok, Douyin more often.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that this online sort of communication can actually translate to offline communication?
Yes, definitely, because the hot topics, all the trends up there, they can share, they can exchange ideas, their thoughts and comments. So it's one of the soft power to blend in cultures.
For both of you, I would love to know your thoughts. If the future is now, what type of educational cooperation programs would you love to see between the mainland and Macau?
Okay. Referring to the program I'm studying at right now, I found a really profound experience, which is a mentorship program. To connect students to some industry, real life industry, or some kind of founders, industry specific professionals to enhance education, academia to industry, to narrow the gap between what's the ideal theory and what's the actual practice. That's one of the best education cooperation I can foresee in the future.
Well, for you, Professor Joe, do you see some kind of organizational structure that could be in place to better support education cooperation between Macau and the mainland?
Well, I share the philosophy that for any kind of education system, it has to be adapted to the social and economic development needs of that area. So if you look at Macau in this very limited small piece of land, a lot of things are going on. And we need a lot of young talents to contribute to constructing the society in the way we intend it to be. So in that sense, I would say maybe it's the time we should take the road of industry, education, integration, and innovation. So we have to think about what are those pillar industries in the Greater Bay Area, for example, and those strategic emerging industries. And on the other hand, what are the academic disciplines and those emerging scientific research areas? So by combining those two thoughts together, perhaps we can establish a spatial layout of higher education to meet different needs of the society and also from different levels, regional or national and even global.
Well, the good news is that judging from the people we've spoken to in our studio audience and our online audience today, there's no shortage of talent coming in the mainland or Macau in the future.
They're all welcome to visit Macau and stay with us.
Yep. That's why we have to enhance the education policy and governance to connect better between the mainland and Macau education system. I think we need more like a central body to oversee educational initiative across regions.
Well, you heard it from Oh Jia-jun. He has this, grand scheme of things, in his mind. And I think that is really inspiring to hear from young people, your bright thoughts about the future. And talking about the future, what is your vision of education cooperation between Macau and the mainland, or just a blueprint for education in the future? What would you say, Professor Joe?
I'm optimistic about the future of the educational cooperation exchange between the Chinese mainland and Macau in the next 5 years, 10 years, and even more. Because of the central government's new directives, that is to build Macau as an international hub for top-tier talents. So if we want to achieve this goal, Macau has to leverage her distinctive advantages and policy incentives to attract and remain those external talents, and while strengthening the mechanisms for nurturing local talents. So we need people first, and we need those young, excellent people. So even if you may not be born in Macau, but you are more than welcome to join us. And we send our top students every year to the other places, and we welcome you back. So altogether, I think this is the future of how Macau could develop by talking and having conversations with not just the Chinese mainland, perhaps globally speaking. So in that sense, I'm quite optimistic and pin very high hope on the future of Macau.
Wonderful.
Yes, and thank you so much to our two wonderful guests, Professor Zhou Mingming, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Macau, and Oh Jia-jun, student at Tsinghua University. Thank you for your insightful and engaging
Thank you so much.
discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we've learned so much about Macau's growth in the education sector and its future ahead.
Yeah, and I love the there's a focus on cooperation too, because when there's that focus on cooperation, and I think many of our audience members would agree, you have that natural curiosity to be able to go and learn in another place and take that knowledge back with you so that we can build a better future.
Yes, and education is actually a very important and precious opportunity for true integration and better understanding of a different culture, a different language system, education system as such. And I wonder if our audiences here in the studio as well as online have some thoughts about this after listening to that in-depth discussion. And I did see a few hands shoot up.
Well, actually, there were a few hands over here. Let's go.
Maybe
Let's say
Black
hello.
Jacket.
If you could stand up and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Sofia. I'm from El Salvador in Latin America. I'm an international student in Capital University of Economics and Business. And my question comes to the Macao student. When they get graduated from high school, what they will prefer? Come to Chinese mainland to study their bachelor's degree, their master's degree, or they will prefer to study in Macao? And the same, if someone from Chinese mainland, they prefer to go to Macao or they prefer to stay in Chinese mainland? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a question for high school students. Well, that's a tough one, isn't it? Right? What do they prefer? Do the mainland students prefer to stay in the mainland, or is their interest to go to Macao? And for the Macao students, the same question. Dr. Zhou, would you like to answer that?
Well, thanks for the question. That is a very good question. And here I want to share some figures with you. Actually, there's a recent study showing that 40% of the Macau high school graduates would love to go to the mainland to pursue their further study, such as the bachelor degree programs. And another 40 will choose to remain in Macau. For example, we have 10 universities for them to choose, and then the rest of 20% could go go overseas for their further study. But then for Macau, for the Chinese mainland high school graduates, because they all have to take the national entrance university examination, so for those who can perform quite well in this exam, as I have observed, most of them would choose to remain in mainland to study in those key top universities. But I have to say that the universities in Macau have received a lot of more applications from mainland universities over the years. So this also shows that the mainland students also are thinking about if there's any other options or paths for them to pursue their personal growth. Thank you.
Wow. Great questions and great answers, too.
And it is time to dive into one pillar part of the economy of Macau, which is part of its success story, and that is the economy. But first, let's warm up with some quiz questions for everybody to join in. And let's see how well you know about this vibrant city. So let me just say, think fast and answer even faster.
Yes. All right, so here is your first quiz question for this round.
Which of the following cities has the highest population density? A, Hong Kong, B, Macau, C, Tokyo. Highest population density.
Highest population density. Go ahead.
Sorry?
Tokyo, C.
C, Tokyo.
And you are wrong.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Very high on the list, but not in this case.
Yeah, Tokyo has that reputation of being very crowded. But in fact, okay, this gentleman, please, in the third row.
Hi, my name is Zakaria from Morocco.
From Morocco?
Yeah, from Capital University of Economics and Business. I think the answer is A, Hong Kong.
The answer is not A, Hong Kong. Everybody, get ready to raise your hands as a group. The answer is Macau. Macau, of course it makes sense what we're doing here today, right? Macau is the answer we're looking for. All right, one last question for you. Here it is. Thanks to the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, the driving time, this is a driving question, from Hong Kong to Zhuhai or Macau, has been shortened from 3 hours to how long? Is it A, 35 minutes, B, 45 minutes, or C, 55 minutes?
Okay, so why don't we do this by a show of hands? A, 35 minutes.
Who thinks it's 35 minutes? A. Who thinks that?
Don't be shy. I can't see your hand. Okay.
Few people.
Yeah, a few people.
Who thinks it's B, 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
Few more people think
a
it's
lot
45
more.
minutes. Who thinks it's C, 55 minutes?
55?
One person. Please stand up and introduce yourself. We have to say hello. You were the only person who answered that way. What's your name and which school are you?
My name is Fazlan and I'm from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan?
Yeah. And I'm from Capital University of Economic and Business.
Have you made this drive before? I thought so. Lovely to meet you. What's your major at the school?
Enterprise management.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're a good sport. The answer is, depends on if you're in a hurry or not, I think.
or how bad the traffic is.
But generally speaking, the answer is B, 45 minutes.
Wow. We had plenty of raise of hands for B, so you should give yourself a pat in the back for getting it correct.
Exactly.
And now let's turn the spotlight back on you guys in the studio as well as online.
Yes, okay, so this is what we want to do now. For those of you in the studio here who have never been to Macau before, you have an online audience that you can ask a question to. So instead of us asking you questions, this is your chance to interact with each other. So, does anyone who has never been to Macau before have a question for our online audience? Let's start with this guy, okay?
Hello, everyone. My name is Feng Chenglai. You can also call me Ronnie, and I come from the Communication University of China, and I'm studying bilingual broadcasting in it. As we know that in Hong Kong and Macau, we are majorly use the traditional Chinese characters, and in Mainland, we are majorly use simplified Chinese characters. So what is your opinions to this kind of situation? Because I think that words is actually an important containers of civilization and culture. So what is your opinions to these situations?
Yeah, we have Kelan having something to say here.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think that's a really good question about the difference between Macau and Hong Kong. Actually, I would say that Macau and Hong Kong is very similar in many ways, especially being special administrative regions. And if we were to talk about what are the changes right now, I would say that Macau, the Macanese or the Macau public in the past may not have been very familiar with Mainland's trends and culture, but with the recent emergence of high-quality music, performing arts, and works from the Mainland, and coupled with the abundance of information about the Mainland through the media, online platforms, consumer platforms, and the rising of high-quality products, we're becoming more familiar with what the Mainland has to provide for us. So I would say that it's expected in the future that there's going to be, youth from the different regions will find more common grounds. And what is different about Macau and from the past is that we're integrating more into what the Mainland and different cultures, and I think that's one big difference. And the next thing is that why is Macau's economic thriving so much more better than compared to before? One thing I have to thank is that the Mainland has supported us in many ways ever since we are returned to our motherland. So that is definitely one thing. And with the support from the motherland, it actually has to provide so much more resources for us to, develop on different policies, and therefore making our youths from different regions to have better, more advanced in development. For example, if we were talking about, I think our professor and our guest earlier from the education section have talked about is that youths from Macau and Hong Kong do have an advantage in getting into universities in mainland China, Chinese mainland. So this is definitely one thing that has made Special Administrative Region so special, and I hope that answers your question.
And thank you for your question as well.
Thank you.
Okay, same opportunity online group. For those of you in Macau who have any questions about the Mainland, here are your teachers. our studio audience. So please raise your hand if you have a question that you would like to ask. Hello there. Hi, what's your name and where are you today?
Hi, my name is Pauline from University of Macau. Yeah, and I
Hi,
study. Yeah, I'm doing a master's degree here in applied linguistics in Portuguese. My question is, well, as a Chinese, we both know, like we clearly feel that how China has been developing this year, like the change is so fast, and I would like to know how is it for you, like foreign students, especially those foreign students from other countries they're in Beijing. Like, how is it? How are you guys feeling? Like this, I don't know how many years you have been in China, but are you feeling those changes? How is it?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, what do you think?
All right. My name is Sam. I'm from Ghana. I'm at Capital University of Economics and Business. I'm doing a PhD. Well, it's interesting because, I mean, as a foreign student, I've been in Beijing for the past 2 years. And one time I traveled back to my country and I came back and there was a footbridge, which I couldn't find again. And I was surprised. I mean, just overnight, I had to go to the next junction to cross the road. And I realized they are now doing a subway station there. So it's quite interesting for me. I mean, it takes a longer time for such things to happen sometimes in my country. And you can see that the next moment, things have changed, even in terms of education. There are a lot of changes going around, and we're trying to, I mean, grasp it, and we're also trying to wrap our head around it, so that at least after our education, we'll be able to also learn something and take back to our country.
Things happen very quickly.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for your answers as well.
Yes. And this is a great way to connect our audiences online and offline in Beijing and in Macau. And we're thrilled to have 2 more guests to come on stage and share with us their thoughts about the economy, economic development, which is a key part to the success of Macau. So come on up, Mac Hung Ip and Miss Choi Pao Man.
Hello. Have a seat.
Please take a seat.
Have a seat there. Hi there.
Good seeing you. Thank you. Yeah, please take a seat. Yes, let's welcome our 2 esteemed guests, Mr. Mac Hung Ip, lawyer and private notary, and Choi Pao Man, entrepreneur, and also she is an executive director of the Youth Committee of Macau Chamber of Commerce. Let's give them a round of applause and welcome them.
Okay, so let's get into it then. When we hear the term made in Macau, the brand potential of that, when we view the brand potential of that, how do you think young people are involved in the development of that brand?
I think Macau young people is part of that because this is the brand of made in Macau. I think there is an audience from Macau. Is there anyone? Hey, raise up.
From Macau?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
You see, the young people is full of confidence to Macau brand because this is from our Macau unique culture. And I think they will try to expand with this brand to the universe. And also, as a lawyer, I have a little bit suggestion for them. Please make the trademark.
Make a trademark.
Make a trademark to have a legal protection for their products, especially from the maybe for the foodies or for the agriculture products. This is my opinion. This is for fear.
That's free legal advice. Please take that.
Yeah, and Pauman, I don't know if you want to get there, but your family has some experience in this field. You have set up 2 businesses, and just look at how young she is, but you're already very experienced in following your dreams and setting up a shop of your own. That is a big achievement. You're talking to someone who has no bone of entrepreneurship in her body whatsoever. So what do you think about this brand of Made in Macau? Is there something of a special resonance to you too?
First of all, thank you for having me. And as introduced by Haeyang, I am entrepreneur myself, and I started 2 brands of my own. And talking about the Made in Macau brand, of course, I think the brand has tremendous potential because during pandemic, I actually started a Made in Macau face mask brand in Macau, and I have the factory located in Macau, and I even named the face mask after the Macau area code 853. Does anybody know 853 is the area code to Macau? Yes, Macau audience knows, and yeah, so I think I named the face mask after the area code because I believe that the face mask can represent Macau citizens, and not only Macau citizens, and also as a Macau as an international city, it faces to the world. So the face mask itself speaks louder than anybody else. So by people looking at the face mask, they know it's from Macau.
Yeah, they know it's Macau.
Exactly.
It's a perfect advertising space.
Exactly, exactly.
In the context of Macau's role domestically, also internationally, how can young entrepreneurs in Macau, such as yourselves, innovate business models, thinking about business models and market reach? What can young entrepreneurs do to expand upon that?
In my point of view, as a legal perspective, I think Macau young people can expand their business to the foreign country or to the other country by showing them the Macau advantage. Especially we have many strategy is good for Macau young entrepreneurs. Macau young people can take a vote as a bridge between mainland to Portuguese speaking countries, and also have to show them, show the Portuguese speaking country as a good golden business card to show them what is Macau, and tell them about the Chinese stories, tell them about the Macau stories.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity. Yeah, the relationship already
Yeah,
exists.
Yeah.
So need to take advantage of that relationship.
And another advantage that Macau young entrepreneurs could, in theory, take up, that is, you're located in the Greater Bay Area, with Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau so close to each other and with so many ties amongst each other. Do you see that the young people, with their startups can take that as leverage?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because as mentioned by the lawyer next to me, the central government has given Macau a unique position to be the one platform, one base, and
one center, one platform, one base.
Yes, one center, one platform, and one base. The platform meaning that a trading platform facing the Portuguese-speaking countries, and with another policy that has been promoted and encouraged by the Macau SAR, naming the CEPA, the Closer Economic Partnership Agreement, which is the closer ties within the Greater Bay Area, the GBA. We can actually leverage the advantage from each region next to us, and we can promote, we can use the marketing and enjoy the free flow of talents and free flow of goods around the Greater Bay Area. So as you know, Macau is so small, so that once we have the product made, the market, the base is too small, that we're not gonna, it's not a very sustained business without the market. So as long as the product can leave Macau and enjoy the vast consumer base in the Greater Bay Area, then I think that is very good for the Macau local brands.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and when starting a business as a young entrepreneur in this Greater Bay Area, what resources and support do you guys, from your own experience, feel like I would love to have that? And I think that's a really relevant question, because for all these bright minds out there who are thinking about starting something for themselves, and also you're creating job opportunities for Macau and other people as such. So what do you think that support would be, ideally?
First of all, I think the government's support is very important to a young entrepreneur, because once I graduated from university, I wasn't an entrepreneur to start with. I tried out many jobs, and when I consider whether or not if I should leave the comfort zone and step into this entrepreneur world, first of all, I would see if the government has any support to me. So the Macao SAR has given me the one-stop service, which helps me to start my company I think that could be answered by you, the one-stop service.
Okay.
And then the free lawyer, the free legal service is very important, because as
only today.
No, because you know, when we're trying to make ties with other countries, we're not too sure about the custom clearance, the entry criteria. We don't know that, and the Macao SAR has been having the platforms and some consultancy for us to seek help with. That's very good for people to thinking to get into business.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some more information for you guys, because the central government have many support to our Macao's young entrepreneurs, especially for the cross-border business registration and also the dispute solution system, because there are several these systems. Maybe you know one country, two system, but three legal areas. So you know Guangdong, Macau, and Hong Kong. There are three different areas, because and also the government have give many legal rights and many systems and many strategy, especially also in the funding, and also some open strategy for the Macao young entrepreneurs that is very friendly to them. So that's why I think Macao young entrepreneurs is really willing to enter to the GPA market.
As the younger generation of the Greater Bay Area, and I think both of you are qualified to answer this, how do you see your role in the region's economic integration and cooperation?
My role, because as a lawyer, and also I got the license in GPA, also can doing some legal business or legal service to the in GPA area. My role, I think, is to show and give more legal advice or legal support to the entrepreneur, to the one who wants to start their business or doing business in GPA. And also we can help them to connect to many departments, to the government in Mainland or in Macau. I think this is my role, to show up how is the system is going to protect their business.
It's a similar answer to what you said, because you said coming out of university you had the plan to become an entrepreneur, but knowing that those resources were available to you, well, that led you to where you are today. And Mr. Bach, you're saying the same thing essentially, is that for people who may become interested, knowing that there are resources available to them, both ways, from Macau to the mainland and mainland to the Macau, knowing that they exist could inspire people to do something along those lines.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a slightly personal question. I'm curious to hear about your personal story or your thinking when you decided to, instead of work for someone, but become your own boss. Because I think that is a huge step for anybody, and of course for a young person, because the safer option is always, okay, I'll work for someone, and that person or that institution will bear the cost and everything, and you know, you're sort of taken under the wing in a way, and you're like working hard. But for you guys, you've set up your own legal practice, and you've set up 2 businesses already. So could you also just share a little bit of that sort of mental journey in making that decision?
That's a very good saying, because I'm still thinking about the same every day to myself, like, why should I do this to myself? Like I should just work for somebody and not having to worry about anything. But again, if you ask me if I still want to do that, to take the same path as I am today, I would still say yes, because knowing the Macao SAR's support and knowing that now the Macao is having a closer and closer economic partnership ties with the Greater Bay Area, we can leverage much more than ever. And also China has so many, the mainland has so many resources that we can leverage on. Then why not take the chance? Like, because I'm so young still, and what if I lose? Then I can go back and work for someone else again. Yeah. So I have given myself like a period of time to try out new businesses, and at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, then I still have way out, because as long as you try, what if you become the next millionaire?
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not, right? So yeah, so I took the chance, and here I am.
That's a good point, though. You gave yourself a relative timeline to take your shot, to take your chance, and then if it doesn't work out, I think that's good advice for young people. Give yourself a kind of schedule and see how it goes. But definitely try to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Mac?
In my point of view, I just thinking I'm still perform my staffs because I don't have holiday. I work 24 hours. Someone call me my number 007, James Bond, because I work 7 days. I don't have to get off, because every time when you in the end of the month, you have to think about the salary, think about the rent, and also all the expenses from the company. But I don't feel tired because I work for my people. This is my responsibility. But if one day you want to be a boss, you better think about what's your dream, what's your purpose, what's your aim. You work for someone else or you work for your own self. So you need to clarify what you are going to chase. I just chase my dream, and I want to show to the others what is my, how to say, my not successful, maybe my story, as what we go out to the foreign countries. I can tell them I'm Chinese. I'm Chinese. I'm part of that. I'm part of our country. I'm part of my culture. I need to speak to them and to tell them our country stories, my country stories, and tell them what is mainland now. The situation is different from what they are thinking, or different from the others are thinking. Is this what my dream?
Yeah. Oh.
That's very inspirational.
Absolutely. So you're, on the one hand, Mac is telling us, you know, follow your dream, because you don't want to be working for the realization of somebody else's dream. But on the other hand, he's also providing a very balanced view. Oh, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of shoulder. And I think that's a really great lesson for everybody to know. And I have one employment and also future question for you guys regarding the young people in Macau, because we're looking at the economy is increasingly going on a diverse path. So how can you encourage more young people to go into these industries of tech, health, sports and culture, as well as finance? Do you think young people need a little bit of encouragement, or maybe they're good, they know best for themselves?
That's
young
exactly, that's me. I think that's a very good question, because this is exactly what the Macau SAR government has been doing, because the government has been promoting the so-called 1+4 economic diversification policies, which includes the World Center of Tourism and Leisure being the 1+4, and 4 being the what was mentioned was the big health, modern financial services, and the high tech and trade and convention and sports, city of sports. And so the Macau SAR is actually supporting the young to pursue their dreams in these 4 categories, and instead of doing something like an entrepreneur, maybe you can think of being a brand agency or something along the line to actually to help and be the driving force toward the economic diversification. And I think that's the very.
Well, okay, so one last question before we let you go. What do you see as the biggest opportunity for Macau when we're looking at, strengthening ties between Macau and the mainland, as well as, Hong Kong SAR, in all these cities in the Greater Bay region?
With the CIPA that I mentioned before, recently there is an addendum signed for the CIPAs and to welcome closer ties within the Greater Bay Area, I think, and young people should leverage the resources you can get from within the area, because
there's definitely a lot happening, and looking into the future, it seems like closer integration sounds like many more opportunities.
Closer integration, work together, stronger.
Yeah, all the jazz, all that jazz.
In my point of view, I think there is a slogan, is same city connection. Same city connection. What does it mean? It means because recently there are a strategy from central government to make a one entry, multi-pass for the guys who work in GPA or maybe in living in Hanchin. There is more convenient for them to connect to Macau and do the culture or do the business. There's more chance for us to have the collaboration between Macau and the GPA cities. So this is a good chance for us to do better and to do business in GPA.
Reducing the difficulties that exist and make it easier for everyone.
Yeah, reduce the barriers between maybe the time and also the visa.
Yeah.
The closer we work together, the stronger we become.
Yeah. And a big thank you to our wonderful guests, Mek Hang Ip, lawyer, and Miss Chow Pelman, and you are an entrepreneur, and thank you so much for sharing your stories with us, and we truly appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a bit.
Inspiring.
Oh, yes.
Inspiring. Young people making their own successful businesses always makes me think, wonder if I should have tried. And I think that was a great point, is that when you do make that effort when you're a young person, if things don't go your way, that's okay. It doesn't mean that life is over. You still have a lot of opportunities to pursue different paths. Anybody have any thoughts on what we discussed there? I wonder. And for our online group as well.
Yes, what do you see as maybe your biggest takeaway, as well as, what about the thoughts you have for today's discussion altogether?
On our whole show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also your best wishes, for Macau celebrating its 25th anniversary.
Yes, sir.
I am Adams. I am very happy about the young people of Macau. I'm saying kudos to them for taking that crucial moment to play a pivotal role in their economic development. This is me saying because of as a young people and as a Pan-African, I'm very inspired that young people are taking a pivotal role in their economic development in their various countries. And the other thing is Macau, and as I get to understand that the GDP of Macau, here comes macroeconomics. That is the GDP, that is, it is most important part, or is among the important indicators in macroeconomics. The GDP of Macau in 1999 and compares to the GDP of Macau in 2003. I think that's a huge increase, because it is 4 times more than the GDP, or it is 4 times of the 1999. It means this is a significant increase. So I would like to know what were the factors that have led to this increase of this GDP, because it is really inspiring to me as an African. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What were the factors that led to Macao's impressive economic development?
Yes, and we're talking about GDP per capita, and that's a really good measurement of the economic progress of any given region.
You can give that question some thought, which is a tough question, of course. Thank you, Adams, for sharing that question. Let's check in with our audience online. Again, and also, if you have any thoughts on any of our guests today, any of our discussions that we had, think about that for a second. We'll give you an opportunity to share your thoughts there. And any special thoughts for the 25th anniversary of Macao SAR as well. Let's go back online. Hello there.
Hello. So
there we go.
Once again, hello. My name is Leon Tong. I'm from the Macao University of Science and Technology, studying medicine in year 2. So I quickly wanted to also thank you to the 2 guests. They brought up very valid points. I also wanted to do some sharing. So I believe that one of the key distinctions between Macao's economy and that of mainland is that the stark difference between the population size. With Macao's population hovering around 700,000, it pales in comparison to the vast numbers spread across China's numerous provinces. And this demographic significantly influences the scale of business operations in Macao. It often leads to maybe like smaller enterprises can struggle during crises due to limited resource and market reach. And historically, this has posed challenges for businesses in Macao, shirking their growth potential and narrowing the available career paths. And the economic landscape was predominantly focused on tourism sector. While lucrative, it offered limited diversity in career opportunities. And this led to many young individuals to gravitate towards roles in hospitality or tourism. And this somewhat confined their professional horizons. And however, there is a glimmer of hope as the government's promotion of the 1+4 development strategy. This initiative aims to diversify Macao's economic base, providing a broader range of career options for its youth. While traditionally Macao's economy was heavily reliant on tourism and hospitality, the 1+4 strategy seeks to expand into new industries, offering fresh opportunities for young professionals. And despite this positive shift, the strategy is still in its early stages, and there are many youth that are looking beyond Macao's border, particularly towards the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macao Greater Bay Area, the GBA, for opportunities that align more closely with their interests and passion. This regional expansion is not only broadening their career prospects, but also contributes to the economic integration of the Greater Bay Area. So I just want to quickly share. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. And it makes sense. When you broaden the region, then you have more opportunities for young people. Yeah.
And we have one more online response. Somebody has something special to share about today's event, about the 25th anniversary.
Oh, there's an old
Macao
friend.
SAR. Hey.
Hello there.
Hello, here's Anna again, and I'm from Macao University of Science and Technology, and I major in international tourism management. And so I learned a lot from this opportunity. That I learned a lot from the education and the culture and also the economic in Macao. And since I'm a student learning in Macao, but I still learn a lot. But I still learn a lot from this meeting, and I think the connection and the bond is really deep between our motherland China and also Macao. And I think we also discussed about the Great Bay Area things, and also about how Macao's education. So I learned some knowledge about Macao, and so it's a really great opportunity to be here, and welcome to Macao to all the audience in the studio, and we're happy to welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'm ready to book the next flight.
Seriously,
Yeah.
we'll go straight from here to the airport.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind sacrificing my diet for one egg tart or maybe a dozen, and all these very interesting cultural things that we can experience. And we have someone in the studio who has something to share here.
Yeah, thoughts
Yeah?
on any of the topics that we discussed today?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Feng Chenglang from the Communication University of China. And first of all, this year marks the 25th anniversary of Macao's return to the motherland. And I would like to express my best wishes that Macao could continue shining with its unique charm, and also the connection between Macao and the mainland will become ever stronger. And so thank you for all the Macao's friends for sharing their stories and some of their feelings about today's topic, like culture, education, and also
the economy.
yeah. After today's talk, I think that I want to buy a ticket and go to Macau right now.
Thank you. I think we'll go back online for one last comment on the topic. Any thoughts on today's program?
Hello, my name is Wendy. I'm from the Communication University of China, and you can call me Nancy.
Hello, Nancy. What are your thoughts on the show today?
First of all, happy anniversary. And then I really hope the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area can have a very nice development in the future, and we can work together to make a bright future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to talk to you today. We have one more online member who wants to share some thoughts. Hello there.
Hi, everyone. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm Pauline again, from University of Macau, and major in applied linguistics in Portuguese. And it happened to be I'm 25 years old this year, so it's my luck, and what a coincidence.
It's your special anniversary, too.
Yes. So I have been here in Macau for almost 7 years. All these years here, I have witnessed the growth of Macau, and especially after the pandemic. Yeah, I also spent my pandemic period here. The Macau government is trying to make a lot of difference, trying to boost a lot of different industry here in Macau, especially in entertainment. We're having a lot of different cultural events. That is a big growth for me. Like after the pandemic, I've never seen so much interesting events. Almost every weekend we are seeing different international events here, which really attracts people from overseas and mainland tourists. And also another point I want to share, it's about the Hengqin, the Guangdong and Macau in-depth cooperation zone, which is another goal that we are trying to make. I believe that the goal of this in-depth cooperation zone is to achieve, for example, innovation technology, right? Sustainable development and cultural exchange or integration or international collaboration. I mean, the future is here. So the future is here in Greater Bay Area. So all this year I have seen the difference. I have feel the difference in person. I have see the growth. I believe here the future is in here, and I want. I'm here to appeal, to give a signal to everyone that you should come here and to try to join in, and together we can build a brighter future here.
Wow. Again, inspiring words. Thanks for sharing. And happy birthday. Go get some cake.
Thank you. And before we close, we have a special video for you to enjoy that not only highlights the incredible journey that Macau has taken, and also take a look at the bright future of Macau as we mark the 25th anniversary of Macao Special Administrative Region. And let's take a moment to wish the absolute best to Macau.
今年是澳门回归25周年，愿澳门继续扬帆远航，与祖国同频共振，一起书写更美好的未来。
对澳门的未来能够更加繁荣昌盛，然后文化继续保持璀璨灿烂，然后继续在世界舞台上焕发他们自己的光彩。
希望澳门可以越来越好，各项事业也会蓬勃发展。祝澳门文化远扬，美食多多，经济繁荣。
澳门回归25周年，参天之木必有其根，淮山之水必有其源。祖国统一，繁荣昌盛，祝澳门越来越好。
希望澳门永远做南海之畔的璀璨明珠。
希望澳门越来越好，我们的国家也越来越好。
祝澳门繁荣发展，明珠再闪耀。祝祖国繁荣昌盛，发展更上一层楼。
May Macau's economic development soar to new heights, cultural diversity be well preserved and well promoted, and its connection to the motherland grew ever stronger.
Happy 25th anniversary, Macau. As a Mainland student who has lived here for 7 years, I have witnessed your growth and prosperity. I sincerely wish you a brighter future and a more harmonious society.
Wishing Macau continue to flourish, embracing its unique culture while contributing to the purity and harmony of China.
Happy 25th anniversary of Macau's return to our motherland. May our shared journey towards the prosperity continue to flourish, reflecting the energy of Macau and the enduring ties with our motherland. Wishing Macau a successful and bright future.
I sincerely hope that Macau continues to thrive as a single harmony and progress. And to our great nation, I wish for a future of unprecedented strength and unity.
As we commemorate this significant milestone, may Macau continue to embrace the long-term prosperity and stability with the support of our motherland, China. On the 25th anniversary of Macau's return, I would like to extend my heartfelt wishes. May the future be filled with harmony, progress, and mutual respect. As Macau and our motherland move forward together towards a brighter and more prosperous future. As a student, I'm filled with hope and ambition to pursue a greater dream to contribute to Macau's development. For Macau, I truly believe that Macau will continue to become a hub of education, innovation, and culture. For our great nation, I truly believe that with our unity and strength, we can contribute together and create a much more successful and greater nation because of our achievements.
Happy anniversary!
Happy 25th anniversary. Happy birthday, Macau.
Happy birthday to Macau.
Happy birthday.
What an inspiring day it has been, and we've talked about so many interesting and inspiring things about the future of Macau. And thank you so much for all of you to take part in today's event. And it is clear that the future of Macau has a great role for all young people to play in it.
100%. We're not worried about the future of Macau at all. It's in good hands, that's for sure. So we have one last request for our audience here in the studio this afternoon. Before we finish up, if you wouldn't mind, how about joining us on our small stage here for a group photo?
So all rise, please.
Come up and join us.
And come on up to the stage and join us. Thank you all for being here and contributing to this inspiring discussion. Let's keep the momentum going and build a brighter future for Macau together. I'm He Young.
And I'm Steve Hatherley, and we all hope to see you next time.
See you next time.